house guests, welcome to today's bbcan 9 updates and spoilers. Our house guests of the day are Jeanette Saylor and Erica Goodrich Thompson. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alrighty, so when we left off yesterday, we've got Ro with the power of veto. Clearly he's going to use it on himself, right? He doesn't have that bad of a slot brain. But Kyle, Austin, Ro, and Brayden, aka Carb, are all planning to push hard for Victoria to go up as the replacement nominee next to Kyle because they think that that's their best shot of keeping Kyle in the game. However, Kiefer is planning on putting up Austin as a pawn. Kyle would still be the target. And Kiefer, he's really worried about taking all the heat for this move, so he's trying to, put it off on everybody else. He keeps telling people when he talks to them that he's just going to go along with the house consensus, and that's how he's going to decide who the replacement's going to be. This is a recipe for some major drama, because now that person is going to be like, well, who's throwing me under the bus? You'll see. All right. So Brayden was talking to Kiefer in the HOH room, and he's like, what are you thinking? And Kiefer says he's going with the house consensus, blah, 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 blah. We've heard him say it a bunch of times now. So Brayden's like, oh, okay, well, whose names are coming up in conversation? And Kiefer says it's really two names that keep coming up. And he confirms that it's the two people who have nominated him, a.k.a. I said that really weird. AKA Austin and Victoria. And Brayden's like, that's fair. You know, those are the easiest options for people to throw out there. So Kiefer says, I'm getting the sense from people that Kyle is still going to go either way. And it's interesting that he said this because he's also been telling everybody, oh, nobody's come up and talked to me yet. I'm just sitting here waiting for everyone to come talk to me. But then he's like, everybody, all these people that I talked to said that Kyle's gonna go. So he kind of, showed his cards there a little bit that he's lying. Lying about people not talking to him yet. So, yeah. Kiefer says that Kyle is gonna be going, no matter who goes up. So Brayden starts pushing for Victoria, of course. He says she's on an island. She's all alone. So she's the only person that would be upset if you put her up on the block. You know, she doesn't have a close ally that's going to be upset. So Kiefer's like, okay, I'll think about it. Cool. Okay, so then Kiefer says, you know, Brayden, I just want to let you know, because I like you so much, I want to tell you, it's perceived that you, Austin, Ro, and Kyle are in a 4-person alliance. And Brayden says, oh yeah, that's what I've been hearing too. Of course people are going to say that. So he doesn't really confirm or deny this information. We know it's true. You know, those 4 are definitely very close. And they're working together. But Brayden doesn't, say yes or no. So that's kind of awkward. But Kyle is next to check in with Kiefer in the HOH room. And Kyle says he wants to hammer home. And he said that multiple times. Hammer home. That it's just going to be water under the bridge if he stays this week. You know, they can just move forward, pretend this thing never happened, and work together. So Kyle says, I just want a fighting chance with whoever you put up as the replacement nominee. I want to be able to campaign for myself. So he tells Kiefer, excuse me, I'm trying to hold off on yawning, and it just makes things worse. But he tells Kiefer, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So then Kyle starts pushing for Victoria to go up without actually saying her name this time. He's like, oh yeah, there's one person that you can put up and you'll have no blood on your hands. Victoria. So, of course, Kiefer's all, I'm going with the house consensus, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So then Ro has a similar conversation with Kiefer, and he's saying, we can have a clean slate next week. Just put up Victoria because she's on an island. So Kiefer does pick up on it too, that all of the Carb members are using the same rhetoric when they are making these pitches. They're saying Victoria is alone on an island, blah, blah, blah. They're using the same terminology here. And that's pretty telling that they are working together and they came up with this pitch together. Okay. So then let's go over to Brayden and Austin. Brayden tells Austin about his conversation with Kiefer, and this is pretty much the first that she's hearing of her, like, potentially going up on the block. So she's pissed that people are pitching for her to go up. They're suspecting that it's Victoria, Tina, and Tara. Not the throuple? You really think you're that good with the throuple that they're not pitching for you to go? What? So, yeah, they're not suspecting them yet. But Austin's just like, Kiefer better not put me up. So then Ro and Kyle, we talked about this yesterday, they're putting a lot of pressure on Tina and Tara to go and talk to Kiefer and try and pitch for Victoria to go up. Because they feel like Tina and Tara have some influence over Kiefer. They're pretty close. But Tina and Tara don't want to do this. They like Victoria, and they're upset that the oddballs are all throwing her under the bus like this when she did so much for them last week. So Tina and Tara are like, we don't know what we can do to help your situation right now. We're not getting any information from Kiefer. Come on. They're saying, we don't have any influence over him, so what do you want us to do? And Tara, specifically, she's really feeling that slop right now. She is ready to snap from the slop. She's like, I'm tired of everything coming down to me and Tina. Our opinion doesn't matter in this situation. So Rohan's like, no, your opinion does matter because Kiefer is telling everybody that he's going to go with the house consensus. So in Ro's mind, it's just, he's thinking, why won't you just go tell Kiefer that you want Victoria up on the block and we can be done with this? But he's missing the bigger picture here that Tina and Tara don't want to. So he's like, what's the harm in trying? And they're just like, we don't know what you want us to do. We don't have that kind of influence. So then Tara, she goes to the Destiny bedroom to spill to Victoria. So she lets Victoria know, I'm trying to keep you safe. Kyle and Ro are pushing really hard for you to go up on the block and for me to try and get Kiefer to put you up. But Tara's like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it. Just thought you should know. All right. So after Tara leaves the room, Victoria is talking to the cameras and she's like, Spicy V wants to blow up right now, but she can't. She says, you know, she's supposed to be laying low right now, but laying low is not for her. She's like, I can't just let them drag my name. I need to say something. I can't deal with this. But then she's like, no. I'm safe this week. I need to relax. It's fine. So then Ro peeks his head in. I think he was looking for Kyle, but I'm not 100% sure on that now. But he's like looking for Kyle, and Victoria's like, are you pushing for me to go up? So Ro says no, and Vic says, okay, good. But then they keep going, and Ro is like, why, are you hearing things? And Victoria's like, no, you know, I'm kind of getting that vibe. And Ro says, no, I wouldn't do that to you. So after Ro leaves, Victoria whisper yells, liar. She knows it's a lie. Yeah, so then yesterday afternoon, Carb, they're all freaking out now that they know that there's a chance that Austin could be going up on the block and not Victoria. So they're trying to figure out, why do people want Austin on the block? Who is the real target this week? Is it Kyle? Is it Austin? What's going on here? And who's behind this? Because they were all under the impression that Ty, Jed, and Beth were also trying to get Victoria nominated. But now they're hearing that Kiefer's going with, like, the house consensus. So they're like, oh, crap. Are Beth, Ty, and Jed lying to us? Are they actually throwing Austin under the bus? Like, what's going on here? Yes, that is what's happening. So Ro realizes that Ty and Jed probably want Austin up on the block this week, and they're trying to make Tara take the fall for it. Yeah, sort of, right? But why would they be trusting Jed and Ty? I'm gonna rack that up to slot brain for Ro, but what are the others' excuses? I mean, really. So, yeah, meanwhile, Kiefer and Ty are pumping Victoria up to go and confront Kyle and Ro about trying to get her up on the block. And guess what? It works. So she goes to the Expedia room to talk to them. And I gotta say, this is not like some loud, angry confrontation. This was very calm. Victoria was like, I can only assume that you guys are throwing my name out there because of the numbers, and I get it. But she says, when I was HOH last week, you guys promised me that you would have my back, so I hope that that's not actually the case. You know, I hope you're not throwing me under the bus and throwing my name out there. So Ro says, we do have your back, don't worry. That's a lie. Deny. So Ro says, you took a lot of heat last week and we realized that. We're just trying to, at this point, figure out what's going on in Kiefer's mind because he's not really giving us any information or any indication of what he wants to do. So Kyle says, yeah, it seems like everyone's an option to go up as a replacement except for the 3 people that voted Kiefer out last week. So that's pretty weird, right? So Victoria says, you know what? It looks like either me or you, Kyle, are going to be going this week. And she says, if I go up on the block, I'm the target. But if somebody else goes up, then Kyle, you are the target and that person's just a pawn. Let's be real. Victoria knows that she's not going up this week. But she's still trying to play it off like she's not close to Kiefer and like she doesn't know what's going to happen. So she says, I just hope you guys aren't dragging me because I'd be really hurt by that. So after, Victoria goes around to a bunch of different people like Beth and others. I can't remember who else she talked to. But I want to say it was like, I don't know. But she was saying she's going to call out Kyle after the power veto ceremony because she knows that they're throwing her under the bus. So later, Austin checked in with Kiefer again, and he confirms, yeah, there are people that are pushing for you to go up as the replacement nominee, but he tells her you're not going to go home. Kyle is going home this week. He basically confirms, like, yes, you are going up on the block. So Kiefer also brings up to her, people are saying that you, Brayden, Ro, and Kyle are all working together, carb, and Austin denies it. She's like, I don't understand why. Like, we were just hanging out in the ball pit with them. It wasn't like game. What? So eventually, Austin starts crying now that she knows that she's probably going up. She was crying a bunch yesterday. I'm pretty sure this is at least partially game because earlier on in the day, she was talking to Brayden and being like, should I cry? Like, do you think that's going to work on anybody? So it's at least partially game. But nothing else too crazy happened last night. So then this morning, the house is buzzing leading up to this POV ceremony. Victoria still planning on going off on Kyle. Kyle wants to call out Kiefer for putting Austin up, even though he promised her during the tiebreaker for the HOH comp that he wouldn't. And he's going to call Kiefer a clown. And Austin and Brayden both admitted separately to Victoria, like, yes, they did throw her name out there to Kiefer, but they're saying, we didn't drag you. You know, we mentioned your name, but we didn't drag you. So Victoria told them both it's fine. She's more upset with Kyle, and she says those boys, Kyle and Ro, need to be separated this week. All right, meanwhile, Kyle knows that he's going to need Victoria's vote this week if he has any chance of staying. So he plans to try and smooth things over with her and talk to her after the POV ceremony. Good luck. All right. So then the feeds went down for the POV ceremony. And, of course, Rohan used it on himself. And as planned, Kiefer put up Austin. So now we've got Austin versus Kyle up on the block. And we know that Kyle is the target. As of right now, anyway. You never know what could happen. So, it also sounds like Ty brought popcorn to the ceremony. Because he was thinking it's going to pop off. You know, I'm going to have my little popcorn moment. Damn. And, yeah, I'm not sure if any of the call-outs happened before the feeds came back. It doesn't seem like there was a huge blow-up. It sounds like, from the conversations I heard, that Kyle did start calling out Kiefer. But then I don't know if Victoria called out Kyle or not. But when the feeds came back, Kyle and Ro were trying to explain themselves to Victoria in the ball pit. So they're telling her, we were backed into a corner this week, and the other side led us to believe that you were the only option to go up in order for both of us to stay. And they're saying this was the other side's plan all along. They were always going to put up Austin anyway, but they wanted to try and turn us against each other and pull you away from us. Okay. So then Ro is saying we did not hard pitch for you to go up on the block. And they also clarified, like, Tina and Tara, yes, we were asking them to talk to Kiefer, but they never said your name. They did not want you to go up on the block. And Victoria's like, well, yeah, I know that that's true. Okay. So then Victoria's telling them, you know, we could have worked together to come up with a plan this week, but you guys never came to me and talked about it. So, yeah. I mean, they threw her under the bus hard after the eviction. I'm hoping we'll be able to see more of that on the episode tonight, because we didn't get to see that on the feeds. You know, we don't know the details of that. But Kyle says he's pretty sure he's going this week. You know, it's not looking great for him at this point, but he would like them to stick together after he's gone. He doesn't want anybody from the other side to win. So then Victoria's still not convinced about all this. She starts repeating back the reasons that they were giving Kiefer of why she should be going up on the block. You know, I'm on an island, it would be less blood on your hands, blah, blah, blah. And Rose like, okay, we didn't pitch that to Kiefer. We're talking through scenarios with him, but we weren't, like, going in with the intent of throwing you under the bus. Come on. So then Ro is saying he really needs Victoria in this game after Kyle goes. He says, you are now my number one, and I hope that I can make you see that. So then some other points of interest here in this conversation. Okay, they told Victoria about Jed and Beth saying that they were going to throw the veto competition to them, but then apparently they went and told Austin that they were gunning for it. So they're like, that's pretty weird. Like, what's going on with that? They told her about the bingo balls in the ball pit, trying to gain her trust. And Ro was saying, you know, we need to stick together with Tina, Tara, Austin, and Brayden. You know, we would still be 6 strong against the other side. But we need to play along with the other side and act like we're all down and out and we're not working together, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So Victoria, in this conversation, by the end was like, oh yeah, I do want to get the other side out. Like, I'm going after them. But who knows what Victoria would actually do, right? I mean, Victoria's going to be loyal to whichever side is in power, but who knows who she would nominate if she were to win HOH again. It's tough to say. She's truly, like, working that middle zone right now. But after this conversation, she relayed much, but not all of it, to a bunch of different members of the Sunsetters, and of course she's pledging loyalty to Kiefer and the Sunsetters. But again, who knows where her loyalties really lie? It's going to depend on who wins the next HOH. But we've got 3 days left until the eviction. As of right now, Kyle is going, but you never know what could happen. A lot of people feel really threatened by Austin's gameplay. So who knows what could happen there. But let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. And until tomorrow, much love.